Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and as you can tell from this huge Technic bridge, I'm at the Great Ball Contraption here at Brickworld Indy. There's a bunch of really cool modules we'll look at. I've got one of the builders with me here, so if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll launch on in.
All right, well, I'm John Brost, and I've been doing this for probably close to 15 years now. So folks might have seen a couple of these. But first one there is, we just got a little overhand wheel, lifts them up, spins them over. And Brian Bonhomme likes to call these my flinger modules because they fling them everywhere. Then we go up into an elevator that's a little bit leaky. Don't mind that. Stair stepper, similar to Brickworld module. Then we go into my tumbler Archimedes screw.
That's such a cool module to look down through the center of.
It's a fantastic, I always try to put it on the corner so kids can go around the inside and see how it's working through the inside. Then they get loaded up onto the train, and train takes us over here, and we will dump out. And then we're going to go into a section here of Elijah's modules, and Elijah, I think, is going to take you through his modules.
Sounds good. So tell us what you've got here.
Hello, my name is Elijah, and we're going to start with the large wheel module. I put that module first because it can hold a lot of balls from the train if it dumps a lot of balls. Then we come into a 2017, I think, workshop module, and a simple stepper, and then a small wheel module. And here, these next four modules are all powered on the same motor from a shared drive system I made. You can see the axle spinning at the bottom, so you can connect them up. I can rearrange them, but that powers those. So we start with a modification of a 2017 workshop module, and then a little sweeper type module just using axles and beams, and a conveyor with the old style chain. Generally, it doesn't snap very often, so I think if you put it under not a lot of pressure, it works pretty well.
With Great Ball Contraption, that's about the most you can ask.
Yeah. And then we go on to a windmill module, which uses a simple stepper to time the balls and feed them one at a time into a kind of three-prong wheel design that brings them up to the top. And then a module that uses the really old Samsonite gears. I had gotten a hold of those things quite a while ago, and I wanted to use them in a module.
All the way back to like the 1960s, 1950s, right?
That sounds right. I don't know exactly when they were made, but then we go into a, I don't really know what to call this. It's kind of a bucket to bucket. So a feeder stepper feeds the first bucket, which then passes them on to the next bucket and dumps them out of the top ramp. And I would like to point out how the precise gearing makes that module work. And that's fun to get right. And then we have a sweeper using the banana gears, the black banana gears. I like that piece. And then a tall conveyor and ramp. I just made that because I had a bunch of these gray tiles, and I wanted to use them up in a way that was sort of interesting. And it can even go up kind of like a drawbridge. So I built that functionality into it. Then we go into a modification of the Chicago 2018 workshop module, the ball pump. I made a few modifications here and there, and including an adjustable output, so if it were to break, I can move the output into a ball bucket, or even to recirculate into itself. So I could just run it on my own if I wanted.
Nice. I love that kind of modularity there, so it gives flexibility because things are always changing in the GBC layout.
Oh yeah, if something breaks, like if this next module were to break, I can do that. Speaking of the next module, this is my ski lift. This is my most complicated module, and in turn the most problematic, but it's been working pretty well today. It was inspired off of Brad Sweet's big ski lift. He's not here this year, but I wanted to bring mine. And after they dump out of the ski lift, they go down a little slide into the another sort of sweeper But I would like to point out that this one is programmed, so if it jams or comes down on a ball, it backs up and resets. That makes it a lot more reliable. Then we go into a simple conveyor with a kind of bouncy input bin. And then another 2018 workshop module, and they spiral around the top. And then finally another simple conveyor.
Excellent work. How long have you been building GBC modules?
The oldest module of mine is probably about 2 years, so not very long.
I'd love to see everything you've brought out here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are here, I believe, on our little picker grabbers. That's a Akiyuki design, I believe. Transitioning into Rafe Donahue's section here. And so Rafe has got a lot of these. This is his binary ball counter. And so I see we've got at least one down in the 4,000 jail down there. So getting very close to putting another one. So that would be 8,000 for the day, I believe. Is that right?
We have 8,000.
We have 8,000 in the cage.
So
Okay.
We just witnessed a very far bit being turned. So we're like 12,000 for the day.
Close to 12,000. Okay. So
Keeping the math straight.
yeah, you got to keep the math straight. It's a lot easier on the counters to just tell you the number. So out of his counter, then we got a couple more Brickworld workshop modules into then his bucket conveyor, which is really cool. I really love this bucket conveyor. And then into the foosball machine. So the foosball machine kicks him around, and I believe this next module, the conveyors, was a challenge from Steve Hassenplug. He said that nobody could make one using those rubber tracks like that, and Rafe took that as a challenge. And so he did a great job. Just winds them up and down there, and let's see. Then the next one is another Brickworld module from, I don't know, 2018 maybe, something like that. Then another couple of tipper modules from Brickworld. And then into Brian's bridge/counter. And if, let's see, well, it looks like we're at 12,910 for the day. So very close to what Ray said his binary counter was.
How does this one count them?
So this one, it's got a little sensor right here, and it senses the balls just by a distance, basically. And so then goes up and down the other side. I always tell people that we used to have to crawl underneath the tables to get in and out, and it didn't take long to figure out we did not want to do that. So I come down into another modified ball pump, similar to the ones from Brickworld. Then we got a nice long ramp. This is Brian Bonahum's section here. So Brian's got a couple of stepper modules, another couple of wheel flippers, and then he's got, I don't know what he calls it. I think it looks kind of like a caterpillar. So it just goes back and forth, or a wave going up, and into the section here, the bulldozer pit. So,
which is a great kind of public interaction section because it's remote controlled.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great for the kids to be able to drive around and kind of help us keep the GBC going. So out of the bulldozer pit, we've got a little, this module holds a ton of balls, which is really great to regulate the flow coming out of the bulldozer. So it comes up, regulates a little bit, moves nice and slow, and then into this using the new screw pieces. So this is a really cool module. It looks great. Just what really nice. Brian did a great job on this one. And then into another conveyor, down into his Archimedes screw. Another one that's a lot of fun for kids to see. It's easy to see through. And then into one of Brian's oldest modules, maybe the oldest one here, his little link conveyor that runs off of the wheels instead of and beams instead of an actual chain link. So, and then I think the next section is Andrew's here, and I'm going to pass you off to him.
Hello, I'm Andrew Kratt from Louisville, Kentucky, and these are my modules here. So My first module is my double shooter. It loads into there and shoots the balls into the nets.
How's the accuracy been on this today?
It's been okay. Some of the balls it'll load 2 at a time and then they'll fall off, but other than that, it's been working good. My next module is Akiyuki's Cup to Cup Type 2. It just passes the balls between the expensive chrome cups. It goes down his flexible down ramp into my shared power loop. So I have 3 modules under 1 motor here. The first one is I have Akiyuki's catch and release, but I made it with 3 forks, not 4. Then I have just a simple stepper, and then my spiral module. So this will sort Zamor spheres and regular soccer balls, so the Zamor spheres keep going and the balls will stay in.
Interesting. And you see, those 3 modules are all 1 motor, right? So what are the challenges of that?
Yeah, so sometimes when there's multiple modules, that can put a lot of torque on the motor, but this has been working good for what it's been. Then I have my cardan gear conveyor, so the balls will load in 2 at a time and slowly go up this brick-built conveyor belt. Then I have my crowd-pleasing toilet. The balls will load on 3 at a time, and then they will go around the toilet and flush out into the next modules. And then I have 2 other modules running off of 1 motor. It starts with a spiral where the balls will work their way up the spiral. Pinwheel made a design for this, and then Dunes modified it, and I copied those instructions and made my own version. And then we have Akiyuki's Catch and Spin robots, which is probably one of my favorite modules I've made. The balls get grabbed by the robots, and then they'll spin and drop them. My last module is Nonsense Wars' a dozer linkage, which I have added a second bucket for, and then that just pours into John's modules. So,
great work. Thank you so much. There's some really cool stuff in there, so thanks for bringing all your modules out.
Thank you.
All right, I'm back. We came into my stair stepper module here, and this one, I like to have a splitter module. It just makes things a little bit easier for bringing it to the shows and stuff. So this is a splitter module, but I didn't split it. It's all going into my new module. This is my shipwreck module. So the balls go in here, and they're lifted up, and the container ship has run aground. And so the balls are falling out of the container ship and floating neatly along the ocean there, along the waves. And so we got little guys with their life jackets on. Down in front, there's a couple of sharks under the water there that are trying to eat the scuba diver. So got the captain's in handcuffs because he allowed the ship to run aground. So lots of fun things going on with that.
There's a whole story just happening in this one module.
That's right, absolutely. Yeah, I tried to make a story for this one. I had a lot of fun building that one. So then next after that, we've got just a drum module. So it spins around, picks them up, drops them off. Then this is my cube module, and this has been around forever now. And every time, it's a great example. I bring it to a show. I come up with something I can make just a little bit different, make it a little bit more reliable. So I started putting our bricks for all the different shows that we've been to, that we've done GBC. And so each time I bring it out, I find something I can do a little bit better, a little bit nicer. It's got splitters in the there, lifts them up, splits the path. Some of them go down and wait on little tippers, and then others of them go down the slides in the back. So really neat module to kind of get people to understand what the kind of iterative process we have to go through for a good module that just works and works and works. So after that, they get into a little slider module, lifts them up, pushes them on, into another hidden ball pump, which looks like an oil well. So inside,
such a cool idea.
Thank you. I kind of decided that good modules either look really good, have a really cool theme, or they've got really great mechanics. And we had really great mechanics like the lift and spin robots down there. This one just looks good. It's a very simple mechanism inside. After the oil well, we go into just another flipper module. Just lifts them up, pushes them on around. Then the next one is an NXT powered, so this is programmed. This is programmed just to cycle back and forth. There's touch sensors on the back side here that let it know when it's up or when it's down, and that's how it cycles. So, and then after that, this is probably another one that has been in lots of your videos. This is my parts breaker. It is very good at breaking parts, and so it's the bucket modules, and it just what passes them from one bucket to the next. And after that, we have my ball counter. Now, don't look too hard at the number of balls on there because I had to stop it earlier, and so it's way off. But this one is designed not only to count the number of balls, but since it has 4 lanes, it has a very high capacity. So it has more capacity than we could really. It could do 2 to 3 balls per second. So this one can measure the true rate at which we are passing balls today, and I think we're probably around 28 to 30 balls per minute. So about half rate what we run our spec is. Our spec is 1 ball per second, but typically when we do shows we don't reach that. So, and after my counter module, we go back into the bridge lift, and that's it.
Yeah. Takes us back to where we started. A really great loop here. Do you know how many modules or how many people were involved here?
There were 5 builders in this. I do not know the module count. We have not done that today. We've been a little short-handed, so we have been struggling to keep up. But
yeah,
it's always fun.
Looked like things were running pretty well here, so that's good.
Not too bad. A lot of these have been well worn and been around for a while. But it's always great to come out and pull them out of the box and let new people see them.
There you go. Well, thank you so much to you and all the other builders who contributed and took us through on the video. So keep up the great work. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.